Good evening, everybody, and welcome here as we get ready for our 9th race of the season of the NNSCRA Pizza Hut X Series. We are getting ready to go racing for our 3rd Super Speedway stop of the season for this series, as we are here in the Great Salt Lake Desert of Utah at FTF Super Speedway. These drivers getting set here to try and see who's going to be able to take the checkered flag at maybe one of the more spacious super speedways that we go to. This track can hold them 3 wide. They'll attempt 4 wide down these long straightaways, which it can hold them, but they pretty much it's a device that they get back to at least a 3 wide formation by the time they get into the corners. But we're going to see a lot of drivers jostling for position, and a lot of drivers have told me whenever we come here, this is maybe one of the toughest racetracks to be able to stick with your partner on the straightaways, to create straightaway speed, to have runs on drivers you're trying to pass. So we'll see if drivers can work together here tonight, or will we end up seeing several drivers have to fend for themselves and just hope they get a big enough run down the straightaways. We're going to get ready for 12 laps of racing, and that might not seem like a long race to you guys, but keep in mind, this track is over 5 miles long. These drivers will be traversing in an over 60-mile race this evening. Just to put it in perspective, Alexander Rowe lining up on the pole, he clocked in with a pole time of 1 minute 30 seconds. So this means definitely that, these drivers, it's going to take them quite a while to get around the racetrack here tonight. So while 12 laps seems like a very short race, you got to keep in mind the length of this track, and it ends up equaling out to pretty long race here this evening. Alexander Rowe starting on the pole here, and obviously this is big for him because if you look at his result last week at Kansas, he finished dead last. So definitely looking to bounce back. Hasn't won since the season finale of Season 2 at Auto Club Speedway, and trying to pick up the first win of the season for Swigley Motorsports. Alongside of him is D Olson. This has been anything but a great start to the season for him, who gave up a spot in the Hershey's Cup Series, a guaranteed charter spot, in order to run full-time here in the Pizza Hut X Series. He's looking for a good run here tonight, and we say, these kind of tracks, they seem to cater to the underdog. Without further ado, let's go down trackside and get the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
And as it will take them quite a bit of time to get around this racetrack here under pacing, plenty of time for me to be able to give you all the information you're going to need to know before we go to the green flag. So first, let's give you your top 10. The point standings come into tonight's FTF 200, and your top 10 is presented by Golden Corral. Austin LaPlante still the points leader, 39 points in hand over Benny Watson. Watson is still looking for his first win since Season 1, but he is still running very well in the point standings, as I'm going to fix the camera there. Jordan Anderson, our winner from Texas, he is 3rd in the standings. 4th in points is Angel Navarro, and J Qualls still hanging there in 5th. Scott Roush is in 6th after his win last week at Kansas. PJ Williams has moved up to 7th. J Jefferson, our winner a couple of weeks ago at our last Super Speedway stop, Talladega, is 8th. Elijah Gilbert dropped to 9th, and A Lagasee now completes the top 10. 5 of our former race winners this season are inside of the top 10 in points. M Crenshaw is 16th, Noah Pontzer is 20th, and G Douthitt 27th. Chloe Ericsson is 32nd place. She is the only former winner this season that is outside the top 30 in the points. Now, she did pick up 4 spots in the standings last week at Kansas, but still needs to continue on that momentum to be able to get herself into the top 30, so that way that win she has will be able to count towards a spot in the chase for the championship. So far, we have had 9 different race winners this season, so theoretically 75% of our chase for the championship grid has been taken up. Still a long ways to go. We haven't even completed the first half of the regular season, and we could very well add a 10th driver into that list here this evening. We mentioned about Alexander Rowe and Daniel Olson. Rowe comes into this race 31st in the point standings. Daniel Olson comes into this race 38th. So both could certainly use a trip to victory lane here tonight at FTF. This track very similar to Talladega Superspeedway in the fact that when you enter into the tri-oval, the start-finish line is not in the middle of the tri-oval, it is actually down at the end of the tri-oval, between the middle of the tri-oval and turn 1. So that extra adage of feet could be a difference maker between who's going to cross the line in first and who's going to cross the line in second. We'll have to wait and see what happens. You're going to get a bit of a blinding light here as they come to the front straightaway. Pretty bad thing about one of the camera views here, but we're going to have to deal with it. There you see, there's that blinding light for a brief moment, but then it will clear, and we will see the drivers hit the start-finish line, I think. Well, looks like we'll have to switch to this camera when they hit theirs. The green flag is out. Let's roll. And can you believe it? I spent all that time not telling you what the stages were. Stages are obviously, do the math, 4, 4, and 4. So completions of laps 4, 8, and 12 are the end of our stages here this evening. And Alexander Rowe gets out to an early advantage over Daniel Olson. So it looks like those two had something worked out where Olson was going to let Rowe go and Rowe go, and then tuck in line. And now he's going to try the bottom of the racetrack, and he's got Aiden Shepard there to help him. Rowe drops from first back to third. He'll now tuck in line as I hit the wrong button. I apologize. Aiden Shepard going to move into second, and now he's going to try and take the lead. But there you see how he tries stepping out of line there, but gains no forward momentum. That's the one thing about FTF. You have to have someone with you to be able to get a run. A lot of these drivers, as I said earlier, they find it very difficult to be able to hook up on these straightaways. So that could be a huge difference maker, and that's why track position here tonight could be a key factor. You start up front, you got a better chance of finishing up front unless you get freight trained. Oh, look at this. Aiden Shepard and Alexander Rowe, they're able to work together, and they're going to try and get by Daniel Olson for the race lead. Rowe, where is he going? Is he going to pit road? What in the world? He just came down pit road, flying down pit road. The heck was that about? It looks like this is regularly scheduled. I don't understand this. 3 wide for the lead, though. Aiden Shepard, Daniel Olson, Dougie Shears, and here comes William Brock and Chloe Ericsson into the mix. A little confused about the 09. That has to be a regularly, or rather an unscheduled stop for him, I would think. Just darted to the pit lane, and I don't think he made pit speed either. Look at this outside line. Shears, Olson, Ericsson, Daleo, and Joshua Osborne. They're getting the forward momentum down the straightaway, and Dougie Shears using the top side is going to clear Aiden Shepard for the race lead. Or is he? Yes, he will. So that outside line got themselves lined up very nicely, and that allowed them to get that forward momentum. They were better lined up than the inside line. Dougie Shears reaps the rewards, and now he is out in front showing the way. It's another driver that's struggling in points that could use a win. 35th in the standings for Dougie Shears coming into this race. Aiden Shepard behind him, 29th in points. So we're seeing the drivers that this track could very well cater to coming up towards the front. And now Daniel Olson's coming to pit road. What the heck? Daniel Olson has now hit the pit lane in the 32 car. And Madeline Crenshaw is blown up. That could be why these drivers are coming to pit road. We're in Utah. The temperature here is definitely not cool. These drivers could very well be coming to pit road to try and cool down their engines. Crenshaw has blown up in the 3 car. Come into this race 16th in the points. She's been on a bit of a slide as of late as our Daytona race winner, and looks like she's going to be out of this race. Gearbox is the reason for her retiring. Alexander Rowe's returned back to the track. As we saw, he's still on the lead lap, and I think Daniel Olson will be able to do the same as the battle is on for the lead. Joshua Osborne to the inside of Dougie Shears. This is the first time I think we've had a race this season where overheating could be a big issue. And these drivers, they're so tightly in a draft that especially those drivers back there 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, their water temperatures are definitely going to go up the longer that they're running behind somebody else's slipstream. Joshua Osborne now out in front. Another driver that would fit the bill of a driver struggling in the point standings. 40th in points out of 42 drivers. And right behind him, well, not right behind him, but not too far back behind him, in the third position is Z Flickinger. He is 41st in points. The top, I think it's 6? No, the top 7 have separated themselves from this second group led by Noah Pontzer, Benny Watson, A Lagasee and company. If they start racing each other, they're going to get reeled in quickly, but right now, they're in pretty good shape. You got Osborne, Shears, Shepard, William Brock, Matthew Daleo, Z Flickinger, and K Ericsson. But I'm pretty certain that Pontzer and Watson, they can very easily get the slipstream off the 46 and get up here. Just checking here to make sure that there's nobody. Well, there is somebody else on pit road. Oh, no, that's the pace car. Yeah, pace car doesn't count. We're about to complete our first stage. And his Osborne looked a little squirrely right there. Almost looked like he was indicating he might be coming to pit road. No, I guess just ill-handling race car or something. And Osborne about to come down here to the start-finish line. He's going to get himself at least 10 valuable bonus points here for winning the first stage. I don't think D Shears is going to be able to catch him. And the field really separated again further back. Benny Watson and I believe that is Noah Cars have now caught this lead pack. And Kyle Keith's back here now with the second group. Ralph Mason, R Reynolds, Jacob Rose all in this group. So now the top 9 have all separated themselves. This track, the suck-up is tremendous, so if those guys from Flickinger on back and stay lined up, they will definitely be able to reel in Joshua Osborne and D Shears. Right now, they're actually battling side by side. K Ericsson and William Brock for the 5th position. Benny Watson working his way up there as well. Keep in mind, Benny Watson looking for some, well, not necessarily redemption, but obviously would like to be able to win at a super speedway. He finished second at our last stop of Talladega for a super speedway when he pushed his teammate J Jefferson to a victory. So now Benny Watson would like to get a victory for himself. And he is slowly working his way up. He's up to 6th place and looks like he may have one of the fastest cars in the field along with the car right behind him, Noah Cars in the 42. Noah Cars, another driver, much like M Crenshaw, who started off the beginning of the season strong. And then, all of a sudden, his finishes have started to taper off. He dropped 8 spots in the standings last week after Kansas, and now finds himself 17th in points. So, looks like he's getting his season turned around once again after being in a bit of a slump. He and Watson are now up to 5th and 6th as Osborne still out in front showing the way. Joshua Osborne was a 2-time winner last season, made the chase for the championship as a rookie, looking for his 3rd career win and looking to make his 2nd straight Pizza X Series chase for the championship. Battle is on for 2nd. Z Flickinger has reeled in D Shears. He's going to try to the inside as Benny Watson and Noah Cars continue to fight towards the front. They're now trying to get by Aiden Shepard for 4th and 5th place. So the 24 and the 42 are definitely hooked up, and now they're going to go for 3rd and 4th. Watson will get by Flickinger for the position. So Watson now up to 3rd. Flickinger will break up the 24 and the 42 for the moment. He'll hang on to 4th place. Noah Cars now slides by Aiden Shepard for 5th, and now the battle may be on for 2nd. The Chick-fil-A Chevrolet versus the Little Caesars Chevrolet. Or will Watson try pushing D Shears up to the back bumper of Joshua Osborne? It looks like D Shears can't quite get to the back bumper of the 70. I don't know if his car is not quite as good out in front leading or what the case is. But it looks like it's not that he's holding up Benny Watson, but it doesn't look like he's got quite the car to lead a pack of race cars. And Watson now going to go to the inside of D Shears. So maybe with the 24 in 2nd place, and if he can get some people lined up, maybe then they can get to the back bumper of Joshua Osborne. He almost had his wingman Noah Cars be able to get there with him, but nope, not the case. Dougie Shears going to break the two of them up there in third place. And Watson, here he comes. He's got the big run. Can he go anywhere with the momentum? He looked low, but I don't think Shears was quite close enough to his bumper to help offer the draft that he needs. And now Shears is going to step out of line down to the bottom for second, but I don't think he's going to have enough momentum to get to Benny Watson's left rear quarter panel. Top 5, single file, Osborne, Watson, Shears, Cars, Flickinger, all looking for their first win of the season. We've still got 5.5 laps to go. It'll be 5 to go when they hit the stripe this next time by. We're still in stage 2. Let's look and see if anybody else has had any problems here during the course of this race that we didn't encounter. There's Daniel Olson. There's Alexander Rowe. Patrick Curtis way back here. That is Matthew Daleo. What happened to the 12? He was up inside the top 10 not too long ago. All of a sudden, he's faded back. Ashlyn Boyd, Cole Deaver, Dawson Wise back here. Oh, we got pit stops. And these are regularly scheduled. Someone spun coming to pit road. I don't know who it was, but there's skid marks coming to pit lane. Regularly scheduled stops here. And I believe the race leaders were on pit road. Yep, Dougie Shears, there you see him. There is Joshua Osborne just now leaving pit lane. Oh, wrong camera angle. He's going to come out with the race lead, it looks like. Looks like Noah Cars will come out in second with Benny Watson in third. A little contact there between Aiden Shepard and Zach Flickinger, and Matthew Daleo is going to cycle back in a pretty good spot. Looks like he'll be back inside the top 10. Looks like he came to pit road a couple laps earlier than everybody else, and look at him fly around those guys. He's now up, I think, to about the 6th position. Looks like he'll go by Chloe Ericsson. Wow, where did Clary come from? And he may pass R Reynolds. Yes, he will. So I think he's worked his way up now to about maybe the 6th, 7th position. Watson all by himself. Noah Cars by himself. And Joshua Osborne out in front. And next time by is the completion of our second stage. A lot of our super speedway races have ended up really kind of splitting the field up. I don't know what it is. Look at Noah Cars. Big wave of momentum. Is something wrong with the 70? 42's going by him like he's nearly 5 to 10 miles per hour faster. He just swung around Osborne. Something's wrong with that 70 car. I don't know what it is. You don't get that much of a run with the slipstream, I don't think. Osborne's not coming to pit road, though, so whatever the issue is, looks like he's okay. But he just lost a lot of touch with the 42. Meanwhile, Alexander Rowe and William Brock on pit road, and I think maybe the skid marks we saw coming to the pit lane may have been those of the 62s. And I'm looking at this group right here. The reason I'm looking at this group is because Flickinger, LaPlante, Shears, Aiden Shepard, they're all running in a group. They're going to produce a lot more speed than Osborne and Noah Cars, and they have time that they can maybe reel in those top 2. Not if LaPlante does that, though. Stepping out of line, they're going to be double wide now, and that's going to hurt their straightaway speed. Aiden Shepard and Matthew Daleo in this group as well. The last time by, they were about 6 seconds back behind Noah Cars. We'll have to see what the gap is this time. I mean, even racing side by side, I would have to think they're producing a little bit more speed than the 42 car is. Let's take a little comparison here. Noah Cars right now is going about 204. This pack is going about 210. So they're going at least 6 miles per hour faster than the 42. Just have to see how much time that gains them in the course of the upcoming 4 laps. Well, technically 3.5 now. Noah Cars coming into this race looking for his first win of his Pizza Hut X Series career, as he is a rookie this season, 17th in points, and I forgot to change the camera angle there. I always hit the wrong button for the camera angle there. I always go to the helicopter. I don't know why. All right, let's see what the gap was. Oh wow, they closed it up by half. They're now only 3.6 back. So they closed up an over 6-second advantage by about 2.4, which means that if my calculations are correct, they will catch Noah Cars within the next 1.5 laps. They have just now caught Joshua Osborne, so Z Flickinger, Austin LaPlante. They'll move by the 70. Matthew Daleo looking to do the same. Dougie Shears, Aiden Shepard there as well. Then you got a battle going on back here in the second group. James Shelley and Chelsea Bowles side by side. And they might be able to catch this group before this group catches Noah Cars. You never know. Especially with getting a little bit held up by Joshua Osborne. And now only LaPlante and Flickinger have been able to clear. And now their opportunity for being able to run down Noah Cars gets a little bit slimmer. They still can do it, but they got to get themselves lined back up, and they got to get Daleo and Shears and Osborne, all of them lined back up to be able to produce straightaway speed once again. Chelsea Bowles and James Shelley trying to latch on to the tail end of this group, and I think they might have caught the slipstream. So James Shelley and Chelsea Bowles might be in the conversation for this win if they catch the 42 of Noah Cars. Last time by, it was 3.66 seconds that he had over Flickinger. Let's see what the gap is now. Back. Oh, I did it again. Back to. Oh, they're catching him. You can now see. They can visibly see the 42. 1.45 seconds with 2 laps to go. And Shelley and Chelsea Bowles have caught this lead group. Now they're in the conversation for this win. So all of a sudden, what was looking like a runaway has shaped up to maybe be a doozy of a finish. They're side by side for second. They're probably realizing that one of these lines is going to move when they catch the 42, and they are catching him quickly. They're going to catch him before they reach the end of this straightaway, I think. And it looks like we're very well going to have 8 drivers in the conversation for this win, unless something happens here at the front and that second pack can get up there, but I don't know if they've got enough time. They were about maybe 2 seconds off the back bumper of James Shelley last time by. They might be able to do something with them catching Noah Cars, who is not completely up to speed with these drivers since he was in a pack all by his lonesome. And they have now gotten to the back bumper of the 42. Now we got to see what's going to be the moves to be made for the win. Out of everyone in this group, only one driver has been to victory lane this season. That's the 16, our points leader, Austin LaPlante. All these other drivers looking for their first win this year. Noah Cars going to try and play a lot of defense. Z Flickinger is in second. Shelley battling with Shears for third. Looks like these 8 will settle it. I don't see that second pack catching them. White flag displayed for Noah Cars. I think this next straightaway they get to is going to be the deciding factor. It all depends on the run they get down this upcoming straightaway. Shelley is on the back bumper of Flickinger. Will the 2 stay nose to tail to get a run on the 42? Chelsea Bowles with them as well. Shelley steps out of line. LaPlante's going with him. Get Flickinger. He's going to take a peek to the outside. Shelley's going to take a peek to the inside. Which line is Noah Cars going to try and defend? He moves up high. Shelley gets to his left rear. Shelley gets to his door. Shelley clears for the race lead. Down the back straightaway, here comes Chelsea Bowles for the lead. Shelley now put way up on the high side. He's going to get freight trained. Unless he can tuck down in front of Noah Cars, which he's going to try and do, and he succeeds. Chelsea Bowles now with the race lead. Now Shelley going to try and make the pass on her. Coming into the final few corners, does Shelley have anything for Chelsea Bowles? Noah Cars right there as well. Will Cars step out of line on Shelley? They got to make the move now if they're going to make it. They're coming to the start-finish line. And Shelley will not step out of line. Chelsea Bowles will win here tonight at FTF. Chelsea Bowles had a great run last week at Kansas. She jumped up 11 spots in the points to 21st. And she picks up her first career Pizza Hut X Series win here tonight in the FTF 200. Last season, Chelsea Bowles took part in the Hershey's Cup Series non-charter series. Picked up a win that year at the extreme road course of Thornton. Here tonight, though, she picks up her first points-paying win in her first season of the Pizza Hut X Series, and now the question is, has Chelsea Bowles locked herself up a spot in this season's Pizza Hut X Series chase for the championship? This will undoubtedly put her in the top 20 in the point standings as well. James Shelley so close. Noah Carr's also so close, and Austin LaPlante almost became this year's first repeat winner. We've now had 10 different race winners this season. The standings are now official. Z Flickinger was up there in the conversation. He'll get 5th. Matthew Daleo in 6th. And D Shears was 7th. Those were the 7 drivers that were up in that lead pack with an opportunity of winning tonight's race. Joshua Osborne will bring it home 8th. Aiden Shepard in 9th. 10th place was Christian Merrick Jr. Then you had R.J. Reynolds, Jacob Rose, James Qualls, Angel Navarro, and M McIntire, your top 15. We saw Benny Watson up near the front midway through the race. He drifted back to 19th. You should look on down through the remainder of the finishing results here this evening. And yeah, I believe William Brock was the driver that spun coming to pit road. He actually retired out of the race in the 40th position. Daniel Olson and Alexander Rowe spent extra time on pit road, finishing 4 and 6 laps down respectively. So maybe it wasn't overheating for them. And then we saw Madeline Crenshaw. She blew up very early on in this race, finishing in the 42nd position. So that is going to do it here tonight, though, from FTF Super Speedway. Boy, what a finish. Chelsea Bowles, right place, right time, and was able to hang on to win tonight's race at FTF. Tomorrow night, we've got our Hershey's Cup Series action. They'll be capping off this race weekend from FTF with their race, so that'll be very interesting. And then next week, we will see the Tax Layer Truck Series and Hershey's Cup Series at Dover International Raceway, as this series will be taking an off week. So anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in to tonight's race from FTF. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We've shown you full feature results. These are your rookie points and your overall points heading into our next race for this series, which in 2 weeks will be at our first half of the regular season finale, Richmond International Raceway. So till then, I've been Seth Cole, and I'll see you guys next time as you've been watching a production of the NCRA Offline Racing at its best.